My name is Tom. You may have seen me around on Sundays serving in various places. Today, for the devotional, we're going to be in Mark 5:35 through 43. I found myself called to the story. I don't know why, but something about it hit differently this time. You see, this is the story of slightly after Jesus heals the woman who's been bleeding for 12 years. Jairus has just watched Jesus freeze the moment to heal her and talk to her and recognize her. And then he gets the news. Your daughter has died. And I don't know why, but the story hit differently this time for me. And maybe it's because I'm a new father. I couldn't help but think like what Jairus must have felt like at this moment. I mean, here he is. He falls at Jesus' feet. He's risking his status, his position, his job, everything, to fall at the feet of Jesus, to ask Jesus to heal his daughter. He's risking it all. And Jesus stops, heals a woman, takes time to have a conversation with her, and during that time, his daughter dies. I don't know what emotions must have been going through Jairus, but I think I can kind of tell as a father. I can imagine emotions of fear, anger, failure, abandonment. Here he was, Jesus promised to heal his daughter, and his daughter died. It's a pretty finite thing, right? And I think, how relatable is that at times, right? We come to Jesus. We fall at his feet. We call him Lord and Savior, and we begin to walk with him. And along the way, we see him helping others. Maybe it sometimes appears like there's a lack of urgency on Jesus' part to help us out while he's helping these other people. We see others coming to faith and having their troubles dealt with, whether that's through healing or relief from sin and temptations. And then on top of that, we begin to have the world crush us and tell us to stop believing, to stop bothering Jesus. Maybe we even start to believe the world. We should stop bothering Jesus. We should feel abandoned, because we were. It doesn't matter that person may have been suffering for something for so long. No, I'm suffering. I need immediate relief. You've abandoned me. That's where I find the beauty in the very next part. It's almost as if Jesus can tell what's going through Jairus' mind in these moments, what emotions are beginning to be used by the enemy against him. Because he sees the man being overcome with emotion as I read it. And he then provides a comforting phrase to him. Do not fear, only believe. He calls the man back to the very thing that made Jairus fall at his feet in the first place. Believe in him. Believe in who he was, who he is, and what he can do. You see, Jairus may have felt abandoned and forgotten, but that's not the case. Jesus just needed to take care of his other child. And in that moment, Jairus believes. Through the negative emotion, the people telling him otherwise, and those who were laughing at Jesus, as he says, your daughter's not dead, she's only sleeping. He believes and keeps pushing forward, and in that moment, his faith is rewarded. His daughter is raised from the dead. He sees that Jesus, in fact, did not forget him. It's in moments like this. It's in moments where we feel abandoned, that Jesus isn't moving fast enough for us, that we're hurt, we're lost, we're forgotten, we don't matter. We need to only remember the phrase, do not fear, only believe. I do not think that it's a coincidence that this phrase, do not fear, is in the Bible 365 times. It is said enough times for the amount of times we'll need it in a year. And in these moments where we may feel abandoned, forgotten, insignificant, we need to also remember it is only a malicious lie of the enemy. God has not forgotten you. You are more precious to him than any treasure that you could ever imagine. And to those of you listening to this who may not know Jesus yet, who may have been hurt, may feel abandoned, forgotten, like he doesn't care about you, I want you to know he loves you. You are his most precious treasure, and he is trying to get you back. He bought you with his blood. He paid an unpayable price, something that none of us would ever do for anybody else. To get you back. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are loved, cared about. And in moments where you don't feel that way, look up and please remember, do not fear, only believe.